Stay upstairs, press box. Go ahead.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. JD, do you think that you have the engine situation taken care of? I mean, you had something go on with the 20 car again this week and had problems earlier. And also, can you give us an update on the Carl Edwards situation? I saw an earlier story where you said that you were indeed interested in him.
It has to be Lee. Lee, is that you? Yeah. I think for us, the two things, really on the motor side, that's concerning. The hardest thing, and this is for every team in the garage, one of the hardest things you do is put those motors together and ask them to have the horsepower and the durability together. And so that's a constant struggle for every team. And for us, that's always on your mind. I think we have a great team. We have a great history. We need to improve upon that. There's no doubt about that. As far as someone asked me about the Carl thing earlier, the reality of it is, each year we have 3 cars. So there's who's ever in the rumor mill, it's always, hey, since we have an opening, are they going in your car? Are they going in your car? And we've learned over the years, probably when we started the 11 car, the FedEx team, we learned some real good lessons. Unless you have all those parts together, a sponsor, the right driver, the right team, don't do it. And so we're not in any hurry to do it. Obviously, Carl is a gifted driver, but he's got a lot of opportunities. He's doing great where he is. From our standpoint, we're just going to focus on Denny, on Joey, and Kyle, and we get that going right. Then we can worry about the other stuff in the future. Right now, that's kind of all we're focused on.
Any other questions? Press box.
JD, David Scott from the Charlotte Observer. Can you just take us through what happened with the oil pan on Friday and just kind of what happened from the start and all the way through?
Yeah, really, for us, the oil pan thing, it was our responsibility to get, when it says things approved by NASCAR, every piece actually has to be approved by NASCAR. So a lot of times we bring stuff to the track, and they'll say, hey, run it this week, don't bring it back, or make these changes to it. Our fault was thinking we'd be able to have that conversation. And when we got here, they saw it, didn't like it. I think they thought it was probably a different issue than it actually wound up being. But the reality of it is it was our fault for not bringing it to them ahead of time and laying it out. And so I think that's for us, that's a good lesson learned. And I think also having those communications ahead of time. Look, we want to be in this sport. We want to be here with integrity and do things the right way. We've made mistakes in the past as a team, and I'm sure we'll make mistakes in the future. But if we can't conduct ourselves in the right way, then it's no use doing this. And I think for us, that was kind of a wake-up call for us to make sure we do a better job before we bring parts to the track.
Any other questions? Press box. We're clear. Let's come back downstairs. Did you have one, Mike? We need your mic for you.
Yeah, Mike Muller, MikeMuller.net. This is for Denny. Kyle Busch this weekend has made several references to the fact that he's working closer with you guys as the driver. I know a couple of weeks ago we talked and you said he was too busy doing this and that. Do you feel that all the controversies and everything has brought this team closer together? I mean, I get the impression that you guys are getting sort of like rounding up the wagons or something like that because of all this stuff.
I mean, really, the last few weeks, yeah, I've seen them a lot more than what I have a lot. And I think a lot of it is just you come to realize that you need your teammates to help you perform better. We've been to a couple of my really strong tracks here these last few weeks, and he's kind of picked my brain quite a bit. I've given him every bit of information that I have on him, and he's obviously, 2 consecutive top 3 finishes at those tracks that he's not necessarily been the best at in the past. So he's using that knowledge to his advantage, and trust me, when I go to a road course or something like that, I'm going to be on him trying to find that same information. So that's what we did, I think, at the beginning of our relationship really, really well, is that we pushed each other to be better. And I think that we're starting to get back to that right now, just using every bit of information that we can from each other, because he knows that I'm good at some racetracks, and I know that he's good at other ones that I struggle at. So in order for us to get closer together and start using each other's setups, we've got to get on the same page.
Other questions downstairs? Back in the back, Marty. We could get Marty and Mike there.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Denny, it was interesting that you used the words sneak up on the competition. That might just be a figure of speech or not. Do you feel like you guys are kind of sneaking up on people?
Well, I think this weekend in particular, probably, because we weren't super fast in practice. We weren't super fast in qualifying. We just kind of were average in a lot of different areas. And so, and even during the race, for 3/4 of the race, we were average. But we stepped up at the end. And you know, obviously when that caution came out and it put us in the top 5, then I think it was medicine for us to see, okay, now let's see what our car's got, because we'd started making ground with about 100 laps to go, and we're running top 5 times. So that put an equalizer right there as soon as that caution flag flew to let us see what kind of car we had. And obviously those last couple runs we were able to hang right there at the front. So it just, things worked out for us today.
Other questions? Right here.
Let me ask one for Mike Ford. This is about the 213 car. Carl Edwards got out of his car today and said he wanted the 213 car to have, I think it was less downforce or something. He was talking about the 213 car. This is only 211. What's going on there, and what did you think? He was talking about track position being too important and all that. Explain what's going on there.
Yeah, you have to look that far out as a team. You know, a lot of work is being done on that 2013 car, and you're talking, you know, coming back to a place like Michigan with a repave with that car, and the speed's going to be there. You know, so I don't know what he was alluding to. I don't know what was on his mind at the time, but you do have a group of guys and some resources that are working that far out. And wanting to try and make that product exactly what you want for your race team, and you know, every manufacturer's working on it equally. But you know, coming up to Michigan, there's a lot more emphasis on that. You've got the manufacturers here, so you know, a lot of talk this week about that. You know, so you know, I don't know his exact issue, what he was alluding to, but I would say that track position being important, you know, downforce seems to equalize that. So. That's me speculating on what he was thinking.
What about your car, your 213 car?
I just want it better than the rest of them.
Yeah, he can build his with less downforce if he really wants. That's okay.
Any other questions? Right there, Dustin.
Dustin Long. Denny, can you talk about just the last couple laps, and especially that last lap where Matt made the move, and I'm guessing you anticipated that. I think it also at one point you kind of made a move up to kind of block his. Can you just kind of talk about that battle the last lap and your perspective of it?
Well, I was kind of painted in a box where, you know, my car was so tight those last few laps that I had no choice but to make sure I cleared him on corner exit. If he got beside me on corner entry, that was okay, as long as I was able to get back to the gas sooner than him. The side draft on these cars means so much. If someone gets their nose right to your edge of your race car, they're going to beat you to the start-finish line. So the reason he was able to charge in and get beside us a couple times is because I just had to really baby the entry so much, because our car wasn't turning as well, to make sure I was the first one to the throttle. I had to make sure that I was clear on corner exit. If I could do that, then I felt like I was going to win the race. And especially turn 3 on the white flag lap, I just, it's so tough to know that you got to just slow down and not use brake and go in there easy to make sure you get off the corner. But especially when you see a guy coming and making a charge, it's tough to discipline yourself to do that. But I knew it's honestly our only shot to win it, because if I run in there deep, he gets a run off and he side drafts to the win. He just slows you down. What it does is when the car gets right there on the side of you, it's the air off his nose that goes to your rear spoiler, and it's just like putting on the brakes to your race car. So you see it a lot during super speedway races and races like this.
Anything else? All right, guys, great performance out there today. Congratulations, and best of luck next week at Infineon.